Morning all. Slightly different angle again because I can't be bothered to set up the right angle. Still on the iPad, still no phone. It's now Thursday the 13th of September and it's 12:30, and yes, I've been that lazy and I've done absolutely nothing. I had an incredibly rough night and didn't actually get to sleep until 7 o'clock this morning. So I'm a little tired. So today is a pretend the world doesn't exist day. Which basically means I do what the hell ever I want. Pain levels are through the roof. Not a surprise with everything we've done yesterday. So gym is out of the question. So I'm going to hide inside. And the rest of the house is freezing in here. So lovely and cosy. Yeah, so today I may get on with some of the dragging for my mother-in-law, but as I didn't get it finished for yesterday, I've got until Sunday, that's when I see it next. I'll easily get it done by Sunday if I just sit down and spend the day on it. So I might take the day off of that because it was hurting my hand yesterday, because of course now that I'm using the smaller hook due to the stupid shrinking DK yarn, which I'm glad to see I'm not the only one having trouble with. It is getting smaller and it's ridiculous because we're not getting it cheaper. But yeah, using the small hook is a little more painful on my hands, so I might take a break from that for a day and crochet something with a bigger hook just to give my hands a rest. I was going to get on with some of the corner stuff, and I might still get on with some of the corner stuff, I don't know. I really should, and I know I'm not supposed to start any more projects until I finish some more. I tried to stop myself, but I've just discovered that it's getting colder and I do like my big and warm cozy cardigans and jumpers, but I made my last lot a couple of years ago and that's when I'd lost all my weight. I hadn't lost everything I planned on losing, but I had lost about 2 stone. It was before my Cushing's diagnosis and everything went haywire, and so most of that no longer fits me. So I'm tempted to take apart some of my bigger items. I made like 2 poncho cloak things that had a poncho part as well as a long cloak to wrap around and a hood. And it was really warm and cosy, but there's no way that goes on me anymore. So I've got 2 of them, so I'm tempted to take them both apart and make myself some jumpers and cardigans to wear during winter. So I might start one of them today, but I need to find a pattern. I haven't actually looked yet, so I need to see what I can find. I'm sorry I'm in a disembodied head again. I'm actually leaning back in my chair again. I can try sitting up for a little while. Hold on. Can I get the angle right? Maybe if I put my legs down, I won't lean so far back. Ugh. I must take the chair off rocking, but it's just so comfy. And as Cindy said, it is very reminiscent of labour and giving birth, on those balls where you're rocking to help with the pain. I didn't actually do that, but I know people who did. My first labour went incredibly wrong and I ended up being rushed in, knocked unconscious and having an emergency C-section. And I wasn't actually allowed to go in labour for the remaining 2 because of things that went so badly wrong the first time round. So I only got to experience labour once, and back then, this was with Kurt, this was back in 97, my hospitals and things, they didn't even mention balls and exercise techniques to help with pain. I just used breathing control and positive mind thinking of going to happy places, because I did it pain-free until, I did it jog-free up until they knocked me unconscious. I tried gas and air, it made me really ill. So, projectile vomiting. So I couldn't have that while I was in labour, clearly. So yeah, I didn't get to do that, but I think the rocking on the ball is probably a really good way, because I know rocking in my chair really helps my hips. There's a random tangent some of you probably didn't want to hear. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm gonna look up some knit and crochet jumper and cardigan patterns. I'm not currently fussed whether it's a knit or a crochet, a cardigan or a jumper. All I want is something to be big and cosy and cuddle up into. You know how it is when you want something warm and cosy? Because my bedroom and the rest of this house, basically, my bedroom's way worse. Basically has two settings for temperature. It has blazing sun and iceberg. So I often have big warm clothes for the evenings upstairs. I have really thick dressing gowns and really thick and bulky. I'm one of these people that has the hooded, fluffy pyjamas. I don't have a onesie because I get up to go to the toilet a lot and then that's a lot of pain in the ass. But I do have big hooded pyjamas, though they're not actually going to fit me this year because I bought them last year when I was skinnier. But Mally really likes them, so he might take them instead. They're going to be too big for him, but I don't think he's going to care. But downstairs, where the temperatures can get equalised out a little and we can often have a good temperature, as our boiler is once again not working. It's temperamental, it turns on and off whenever it feels like it. Duncan had to turn it on again this morning and last night. It's supposedly fixed. Controlling heat in this house is a bit of a nightmare. So what we tend to do, because it also costs a small fortune, because it just leaks out. We've got an old wooden door for a front door. You know, the sort that, shrinks and expands depending on the temperature and has a letterbox that falls off and a gap around the door and things. So keeping this place hot is really hard and really expensive. And as our last bill was... What was our last bill? About £600? Maybe 500 and something pounds. For 3 months, but that's during the summer. Imagine what it's like during the winter. Yeah, we won't be using the heating very much. So we all have hot water bottles, blankets and thick woolly clothes to wear to warm us up. We layer up in this house rather than turn the heating up. Because also the heating sets off my migraines and it sets off my eczema. So yeah, I need to pick some new clothes and get making on it really and decide what I want. Because I don't really know. I've had a lot of different styles over the years. I don't like anything too much around my neck. Though I wear scarves, I tend to feel like I'm being choked if it's too tight, so I tend to have it a little baggy, which means it needs to be big and bulky so that it's not tight but it's still covering me warm. So a lot of my cardigans and jumpers tend to be more this sort of style where it's a wider, sometimes there's a v-neck, but I don't tend to have, you can get some that are up like this. I don't wear them. I always have more open clothing. You'll find in a lot of my t-shirts, if you ever pay attention to my videos, I've cut the neckline off. I actually cut the arms off too because I find them too tight because I have a little chubby arm. But yeah, most of my clothing I've actually hacked away the neckline to make it wider for me because I just don't like it. So yeah, I need to have a good look at Ravelry and see what I can find and what I can do. I don't know if I'll do anything else today. I had planned on sitting at the table here and doing some origami today. But right now I'm not sure if I could sit and do things for long periods of time. And the modular origami, obviously you're making a lot of pieces, so it can take quite a while. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I may just literally do the corner to corner. I may search up and do a cardigan or a jumper for myself. Or may feel better after eating something, because I'm going to eat my porridge in a minute. And I may come out here and do some origami. I really want to do some origami. I haven't done it for ages. So I think I'm just going to have to wait and see how I feel after I've had peppermint tea in my porridge. Because no Pepsi. Because I think I mentioned at the beginning of the week, no Pepsi in the house for us. I'm attempting to not drink so much of it. We've done this once before and we've done well. We lasted a couple of months without buying any. And then I was getting really bad migraines again. So the kids were going over the shop daily or lending me some of theirs. So we just brought it back in again. But touch wood, though my headaches are bad, they're not the super bad migraines that I was having. I think, touch wood, my migraines have not been higher than level 3. which is probably nonsense to you, like you probably don't get. But I have several layers of my migraines, my personal way of marking my migraines. And level 10 is TMI. Level 10 for me is the slightest speck of light, the slightest noise of pin drop, anything will have me throwing up because the noise is just too much and the light is too much. And that is when I literally hide in either the bathroom or my bedroom, covering with scarves around my eyes, or in the bath it's flannels around my eyes, block up my ears and pretend the world doesn't exist, quite literally. And I will spend all day in there with the boys just coming in, cleaning out my sick bowls, making sure and everything, make sure I'm hydrated. They're really good, bless them. But that's a level 10 for me, whereas a level 1 is, it's a migraine, and noise and sound and movement do make me quite ill. I'm very nauseous, but I can usually control the nausea to a scent that, you know, I don't need to have a bowl with me. I can know that I'm going to be sick. I can go up and be sick upstairs, where it's less clean up. And I can handle noise and light and sounds to with a reason, and that's usually when I close all the curtains and hide. So this is when I wouldn't be in here because there's no curtains. But so I don't think I've had anything higher than a level 3 in the last few months. I've had some pretty major headaches, but my headaches are sound and light sensitive, but I'm not nauseous, and it's a different feeling. Those who suffer from headaches and migraines know that there is a difference between them. And yeah, I've had some pretty bad headaches. I mean, I've had some level 8s, which again is my markings. Today I'm about 5, so you know I can get on with most things. If I talk for too long, as I'm talking, it's getting worse. And in here is Doe Lovely is quite white and it's affecting me. So I'll be back in there, away from all for a little while now that I'm warmed up a little. But I've been quite lucky. Whether they'll change my meds to try to reduce these completely, don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I've had no luck with any major meds. If I've missed a dose of my gabapentin, it's not affected my headaches in any shape or form, so I don't think they're helping at all. It's just my body goes through cycles of having really bad ones, and then, as my last doctor described it, I start low and I work up slowly into wham, both for my headaches and for my migraines, and I think I've just been slowly working up over the last month or so, I think. Sometimes if I'm lucky and I can rest and avoid the world long enough, sorry, bug on the window, I can stop it climbing too fast, and which is what I've been lucky enough to be doing recently, I think. But whether I'll be able to keep that up, I don't know. But we'll see. Look at that, 13 minutes and I've rambled about pretty much nothing other than my head. I'm sorry, but this is part of what the daily vlogging is, to not only share my craft stuff, but share what my life is like. That my health does affect my crafts, and as much as I'd love to be out in this glorious room every day, all day, and this room actually makes me feel better in myself, and is great for my anxiety and my depression, it's not always great for my headaches and my migraines. And so it's a toss-up. So crafting is affected by my health. And so though I was trying to keep them separate, when I started the health and positivity vlogs, I just worked out I couldn't, because they both affect each other so much. I mean, like if I was doing Fimo, my eczema would be even worse than it is now, which is why I've not done Fimo for a while, because it really dries my hands out. I need to find a way of using gloves on Fimo. I don't know if I could use some latex gloves or something. I have to buy cotton gloves to wear underneath the latex gloves because I'm allergic to latex gloves. But I used to do that when I worked as a dinner lady. I would wear cotton gloves. The school would provide me with cotton gloves to cover my hands while I wore the dishwashing gloves to help minimise the eczema on them. So yeah, the fact is that anyone with chronic health problems will know you can't separate them off. It just doesn't work. When you have daily problems, everything in your life is affected. And so people need to understand that. Just because one day they see that I'm doing some kind of craft or I've made it out of the house doesn't mean that I'm good. It means that for that day, whatever problem is under control enough for me to go out and do that, or to sit here and do this. But sat here playing with my T-pins. I had a container for them, and then I pinned out everything one day, and then I lost the container, which had some in, so I've only got this many left now. I need to put a wholesale order in and get a bunch more, because my wholesaler sells them, I think it's by the box of 250, I can't remember, but I need way more than I got anyway, so I need to buy more. But I need a proper container. I think what I'm going to do is make another pin cushion and keep them in there. I have a tomato that's got a lot of my normal pins in, which, ouch, apparently leaning up hurts my shoulder. Yeah, so I have a tomato that's got a bunch of these in. I stopped putting any more in, so I actually have loads more pins in there, so I need a second tomato. But I think I need to build something for my T-pins as well. I mean, that's just a basic box standard thing that comes in a sewing kit. I didn't make that one myself, but it doesn't take much to make one. I'm tempted to do some jars with lids on and have the top as the pin cushion and the inside as other storage of some kind. Maybe ends of sewing threads and things, I don't know. I'll have to see. But as I have now talked for 17 minutes, I have to put my forehead up there so I can actually read it. Imprint the time on my forehead. I'm going to go, and I'll let you know later what I end up doing. So I hope you're all having a fabulous day. And I know right now here it's actually really sunny, and it's got some lovely blue sky with some white clouds, hence the squinting, because that actually hurt my eyes. Ow. So I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like here today, but I don't know what the weather's like for other people. I know in some places you've got hurricanes, and I hope that you've managed to evacuate to somewhere safe, and that your family's evacuated and your loved ones, and you don't lose too much in them, because that must be horrendous. In the UK we don't really get anything like that, so I don't understand the damage that could cause. But you see the footage, and so you know that it can be really quite bad. So I hope you are doing really well. But I hope the rest of us who aren't suffering from that awful thing are actually having good weather. I don't know what the weather's like around the world. From what Christine in Simply Now Logical says, Canada's starting to get cold. Ours is being temperamental as hell. Yesterday was really quite cold last night, and now it's boiling again. And the house isn't boiling, but in here is. And it's really sunny out, so I don't know what's going on with the weather. But, I'm not going to complain. We're not having anything major, so we're good. We're the lucky ones. Right, I am going to go, because it's now been 18 minutes, and I bored the socks off everyone. You all take care, and I'll catch you later. Bye! Having fun? What you've just seen there is my son sorting out my essential oil holder. Because it's got a little out of order since I last ordered them. Being out of order is annoying him. I'm more than happy for him to do that, because normally it's me doing it. But the important thing is, I've made someone else as crazy as me. Normally everyone's in this house like, it doesn't need to be in order, it's fine. And I'm like, no, it needs to be in order. And now, finally, someone else is doing it. That's actually really exciting for me, because it means that I won't have to organise everything, because someone else is going to be as crazy as me and want everything organised. And please don't take offence when I say crazy. It's just a funny term for us. We don't actually mean crazy. Just that I have issues, and someone else now has issues with me. You have to excuse all this. I have dry skin again. What a surprise there. But we're trying to work out where to put it because we've had to move it to put the Harry Potter Lego out there. So we need to find a new space for that. So while he was moving it, he decided to sort it for me. Excuse me. Which is great because where it was, I barely reached it, so I couldn't organise it. So once it went up there organised, it just got trashed each time everyone went through to look for things. It's actually getting rather low. Looking at what he's sorting, it's barely full now, so I'm going to have to buy more soon. But I don't know. If I can't find anywhere to store it, then I better not buy more. But then I might miss my essential oils. I kind of really like them. But yeah, it is actually really nice to see someone else sorting something for me. Now I am going to go and deal with my incredibly dry skin, which in this light shows even more. Right, I'll catch you later. Bye. Hi all. It's 9:43 on the 13th. I don't have my Fitbit on because otherwise I'd be counting a load of steps I'm not doing because I spent all day looking for a cardigan and a jumper pattern to do for my chunky yarn. Found wonderful jumper pattern and a wonderful cardigan pattern, but they're not going to work with the yarn that I got. They're just not, I don't have enough of one colour, so mixing is just going to look awful because they're nice cables and things, and the jumper's a ribbed jumper. So instead what I've done is I spent the day, once I found what I was going to do and worked out that wasn't going to work, I spent the day taking apart all the chunky items that I've made over the years, from the very beginning to some stuff I made last year. I'm still taking it apart. And I'm going to take it apart and make a scrap blanket because it's stuff that I don't use because either I've got too big for it now or I've got too small for it now because different things fit in different parts of the body and things. Or it just didn't look right on me when I made it, even though it's pretty, it's just not me. So I'm taking it all apart and making a blanket. So I'm sat here, I've got this much left of one item, which has so far created these balls. It's literally my head size. This is marble chunky. There is 2 other items that have marble chunky yarn. One item that I don't know what the yarn is. Could be marble chunky, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I have no idea what it was. I made myself a mermaid towel, but I made it with more expensive yarn than the rest of my mermaid towels were because it was for me. Excuse me, and I can't actually remember what the yarn was. It was a yarn I hadn't used before, which is why I'm pretty sure it's not marble chunky, but I just can't remember what it was. And then I've got a few circular vests and some scarves and hats and things that just didn't quite come out how I envisioned them. 2 secs, I need to have a bit of this because I've got severe heartburn again. Not though this helps with heartburn, but washing your throat down takes the burn away for a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna hold this stuff with one strand of the other ones. I've actually made another ball here. Hold on. Nice close-up vision for you there. So this is another mixed colour ball, so you can see black and there's some purple in here. And inside this there's another, I think it was Lakeland, King Cole Lakeland, I think is the name of the yarn. I had a small amount left of that from when I made a ribbed top and a ribbed scarf that matched. Kind of, they weren't quite pastel colours, but pinky purpley things. They were on my channel a little while ago, but I had a little ball of that left, and I had a little ball of another yarn. It's similar colour to this one, but not quite. So it's not the same yarn, but I had a little ball of that, so they're inside that ball along with the purple and the black. And then I've got some stripy vest thing that I made, which has got some pink and some blue and some green, a different colour pink, a different colour green. I think it's 2 blues, 2 greens, 2 pinks, I think that top was. So they're going to be the strands that are all tied together, and that's my mixed colour strands. And then I'm going to use this one with it, and then when this one runs out I have a second one of these tops that I made, which is again marble chunky, but it was more of a mixed cream and greys colour. I can't remember the colour codes, and I'm going to use that as the long strand with the mixed ones. Does that make any sense to anyone? I'm going to use a 10mm hook. That's the biggest hook I got. I'm looking for a kind of big, cozy, wonderful blanket to cozy up to in the winter. I'm going to have to get yarn for doing my cardigan that I found. The jumper, I probably got some yarn upstairs for it because that was a DK weight one, not a chunky. So I just have to go through and see what I got, but I also need to see what colours I've got left of my robin and that for the rainbow coloured cardigan that I'm going to be making as well. Because I know I'm short on some colours, so I need to see, because obviously I used quite a lot on my Wings of Change blanket. So I need to go through my stock, see what I've got left. Basically known as the stuff I was supposed to be selling is now going to be mine. But it doesn't matter. I'll make the money back with the items I've made with them, and items I'll make in the future, because I won't use every ball. So, you know, it just takes a bit of my profit away from me, that's all. Not that I make lots of profit, but I make some. You know, I am a business, I'm in it to make money. Not to get rich, but to make some money. So yeah, I'm hoping to get these balls on the go and maybe get the blanket started tonight. And then I can show you some of it tomorrow. I don't know, we'll have to see. I haven't actually had dinner yet. As I said, it's 9:48. And we're actually waiting for the dishwasher to finish so that we can have dinner, because nobody put the dishwasher on, and apparently that's the only way to wash things. Hand washing would take just as long. No, but Duncan didn't want hand wash, so you know, I can hardly tell them what to do when they're the ones doing it, because I can't hand wash, and it would be fair for me to demand them to hand wash it so that I can have dinner earlier. So today's dinner is rather late. But never mind. Yeah, so I haven't actually got very much done. I did whittle down my queue a little in Ravelry. I took out some of the stuff that I'd planned on making when I'd lost all my weight. Lost a chunk of my weight. And they would have looked okay on me, but now at this size they won't. So what I've done is I've just taken them out of my queue, because it's going to be a long road for me to get back to that weight. If I ever manage to get back to that weight, because the cushions is just a major issue, and it's really hard to lose weight with cushions. Not that I'm not going to stop trying, I will. I'll keep trying, but I just figured if I'm going to work through my queue, I might as well cut down what's in my queue to make it more likely that I'm going to be able to do it. There's a few things I kept on there, purely because I couldn't remember the search time that I bought them up, and I didn't want to lose them, and I think I'll make them to sell in the shop, because some of them are really pretty. But I got rid of the stuff I'd planned on making for myself, basically. But then I added a few more things, because this is me. I found a few more tops and cardigans and things I really like, so I've added them. And I think either they will work for my current body shape, or I can adjust them to my current body shape. So hopefully that'll be good. So yeah, I'm afraid I've really not got much to show you. Or better known as nothing to show you, really. But hopefully tomorrow I'll have something to show you. I'm sorry about this glare and this lighting. I couldn't be bothered to get up and go in the craft room to do a proper film. You know me. Today's been a tough day, hence the bath and the hair mess. I can't believe the blue and green is still in it, just hanging in there really well. But yeah, I'm gonna go. No, it's because Mally walked past to change the lighting, and I'm like, why is the lighting changed? It's not a mirror, believe it or not, with that reflection. It's actually a picture of the kids and me and Duncan 9 years ago. We needed a more up-to-date one, but getting my oldest two to come anywhere for a photo is near on impossible. As you know, Kurt doesn't like being on camera, and that's just photos as well. He won't ever. And Reese, though he's very I'm so wonderful and I'm so beautiful, he won't actually let me take a photo of him. I mean, he's not kidding, he's a good looking boy. And he takes lovely photos, but he won't let me take one. Probably because, weirdly, he often looks off his face. He looks like he's been taking something he shouldn't have, and he's not, because I've been with him when I've had those photos taken. He's getting better at not doing the wide-eyed, which a lot of his pictures really are. some of his ones where he's very drunk are quite hilarious. So though he can take a wonderful picture, he can take some really bad pictures. So we need to try to get them all together. My mum wants pictures of them all, but it's just trying to get them together is near on impossible. So I don't know what we're ever going to do. I might have to kidnap them and tie them down. But one day I'll get a photo of them. Even if it means stalking their Facebook page to get the photo from there. Yeah, so I'm going to go anyway and get on with rolling this. I was doing it all in one ball, but they had me pick up stitches on this thing, so I've had to start working from the opposite end until they unravel around each other. And then I can join them and turn it into one big ball. And I'll do the same with the other colour of this stuff, so that I can then add in the second strand. I was going to middle feed them, but there's no way my middle feeder ball winder can handle this amount of yarn. So I think I'm just going to leave them in these big massive balls and in a big bag and just work from that. And I know I wasn't supposed to be starting any more blankets, but I can't help myself. I have issues. I'm going to go and catch you all later. I hope you all had a fantastic day, and I hope those of you who are in need of recovery get the rest and recovery and any pain relief you need. That's Ella's mum from No Catchy Name. She's had surgery today, and I believe her name's Lisa from Happy to Hook Creations, I think it is. I do follow her, but I haven't watched many of hers. But I believe that's her name. She was involved in a car accident, so she's in need of healing as well. So I'm hoping that they're getting the pain relief they need and the rest they need and the sleep they need and everything. And hope that they recover well and fast. So if you could all put out your energies or your prayers or wherever it is you do, that would be fabulous. So I will see you all tomorrow. But until then, take care. Bye.